Is can you all hear that okay? Is it? Yeah, just about it okay. Yeah. And welcome to Off the Stage. It's the show where we take musicians off the stage and into the pub to talk about the ins and outs of the music world. I'm James Berry. This is Conor Michael.
I think every week you get less enthusiastic at the opening.
Do you want me to be a bit more enthusiastic?
Yes.
Hello and welcome to Off the Stage podcast. It's the show where we take musicians off the stage and into the pub to talk about the ins and outs of the music world. I'm James Berry. This is Conor Michael, and today we are joined by the fantastic Hivemind. Yeah.
Oh.
I think that's the first time I've got that completely right as well, without pressing the wrong button by accident.
See? Smile takes you places, James.
Yeah, I just should smile more. So.
Yeah. So hi guys. Thanks for coming on.
So
first question is, who are you? What do you do in the band? Give us a little introduction.
So we're Hivemind. Halftime Heroes, we've been dubbed. Just a very riffy band. So we pride ourselves on a nice little halftime riff every now and then.
Nice. You want to introduce yourself though?
But yeah, I'm Simon, one of the halftime heroes.
Halftime heroes.
Jack, and I play drums in Hivemind.
Yeah.
I'm Georgia and I sing.
I'm Steve and I play guitar in Hivemind.
Yes. I'm glad it's all in the same band, mind.
Yeah, imagine if we were all in different bands.
Wrong podcast.
Mix and match. So what are you guys drinking? What's your beverage of choice today?
Well, I've just been on like a 3-day bender at a wedding in Northern Ireland, so I'm still on the lagers because I think anything else will just disrupt my liver too much.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I'm just
Keep it
going.
I think I've got to keep it going now, and I can't.
Yeah,
I don't know when I can stop.
You can only get so many Guinness down, can't you?
I mean, an alcoholic, right?
Well,
I've got to keep going. I don't know when to stop, otherwise the train will crash. And
okay. My name's Steve.
welcome to Steve's intervention. Yeah.
Hello, Steve.
It's not really a podcast, is it?
It's an
rolling banner down.
Camera's not rolling.
I did try your Guinness though, and I didn't like it.
Oh, really?
I wasn't a fan.
But was it? Isn't
And
Guinness?
apparently it's like the best place to get Guinness as well.
I'm
like
sure they all say that,
one
though.
pub in Northern
I'm
Ireland.
shocked.
It just was like bread.
Like
Is that what you're thinking?
I don't know yet.
To be honest, looks like it.
It's definitely a stout.
Could be a Coke.
Could be a stout.
No, it's a stout. I just.
But yeah, no, not a huge Guinness fan. Sorry to any fans in Ireland or Northern Ireland.
You've got to
Take a bit of offence
try
there.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At
Least you tried it.
It's the rule.
I did.
How many did you try though?
One.
That's a singular.
One sip.
Once you get like 7 in.
No,
great.
yeah. I mean, I cleared one off in probably record time, I would say.
Alcoholic.
It's alright. It was like,
Yeah.
I won't go back.
Okay. Fair enough.
That's my thoughts on Guinness.
Okay.
George, what's your thoughts on Guinness?
I'm drinking a Pepsi Max.
Oh.
It's the only sip that counts.
This is sponsored by Pepsi Max.
Well, no, that's
The dream in it.
That is the dream. It
You
is.
get when you can't get Coke.
We're fueled by Pepsi Max in this band, so we're holding up for that sponsorship.
That should be the official slogan of Pepsi on it. Is Pepsi okay? That's the only reason you get Pepsi.
Very okay. Thank you
Have
very much.
Pepsi got a slogan?
Now they have.
Sponsors of Hivemind.
No, I don't think they do.
I don't think so.
That's quite weird. You would think.
When you get Pepsi though, do you need a
Well, Nike do.
Coke?
The great. Yeah, the great. Is it the great taste? I don't know. Man. Ask me for.
Well, look like
I'm drunk for 3 days.
Work for Coke, I don't know.
I'm alcoholic. Crying out loud, you're asking me for.
Georgia, what are you drinking?
I have a whiskey Coke, and I was just saying before we started recording that the
Whiskey
ratio.
Pepsi Max.
Pepsi okay?
It is actually Pepsi Max. So, but yeah, I was just saying before we started that the ratio is just like perfect. It's just
Oh.
wow.
whiskey.
That'll be the
and
delightful taste of Pepsi Max. Very careful with shit ices, thank you very much.
You're going to tag them so much the next week.
Yeah, I know.
I want a nice stout rum.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Just steady away.
Nice. I've
Dying to see what you're drinking, yeah, go
It's
on.
definitely a stout, but it's kind of like a. They don't do Guinness downstairs, which is a shame. It's always like flame and stuff.
Dodge a bullet there then.
Eh?
You'll have to guess what the flavour is.
There's the bottle there, fucking know what I mean? Steve's lit.
It's a little coffee-ish, but that's stout in general, isn't it?
Yeah. You know what? I wonder if they've brought back am I going to guess this for you without even tasting it?
It could be the milk stout.
Could it be the tiramisu? No.
Ooh,
damn it.
tiramisu.
There was a tiramisu stout that they had here, and it was bloody gorgeous. Well, I've only seen it once though.
I did try a marshmallow stout in a different bar in Sunderland,
Right.
but it was like 12% or something. So you only serve them in sort of like 3/4 pints. So that was rough.
Yeah.
Rough.
Sounds like it would taste nice.
It's
though.
got like
Yes,
Like man
coffee.
needs it.
I just needed a weekend top up.
Is it a pint of espresso martini?
I was gonna guess on this.
It is not.
Good, because I'm driving.
Give up what flavour we got.
It's like an oat stout. It's called Polydonkin.
Polydonkin.
Oh,
stout.
That's like the most Scottish stout you'll ever flipping get, isn't it? Old stout.
Hey, my ex.
Yeah, well, you don't-
Oat.
Tell you what I've got. Well, I don't even know what I've got. It was a mystery sour, but I'm sure I've had this before, but I can't remember. Do you want to try that? Have we had that before? We've had that before, haven't we?
Sharon's Kitten.
Well, that's fruity.
Yeah, that's what she said.
When?
I don't know. I should stop saying that, to be fair. I don't know, actually. Is it like a pineapple-y?
That's a good guess. Is it? It's not mango, is it?
I'm just guessing fruits here. Is it
Guava.
Guava, that's a good guess.
Good child. From our resident alcoholic.
Go on.
Steve, just tell my look.
Yes, I had that in 2016.
See it with bubbles, that's guava right now.
What is guava?
It's a fruit.
It's a type of fruit.
Next question.
Couldn't tell you
What does it look like?
what else.
It's fruit shaped.
What
Yeah,
colour
and
is
it's a bit like guava. Like
Do you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of guano. From it.
no, it's definitely not that.
Quaver.
It's
It's
vintage.
definitely not guano.
Like this.
Oh, right, yeah, it's like a small nut. It's like a
weird-
green lemon.
Yeah, the small melon.
In fairness to Steve, it is.
It's a bit like grapefruit. It tastes a little bit like
Yes.
grapefruit. Like
So
something
what
like
is-
Out there.
You're man of the world, Steve.
I am.
Right, so
Dices.
put us out
Educate me.
honestly.
What else you
What is this flavour drink?
It's a Mai Tai sour.
Mai Tai sour.
Like as in the cocktail, Mai Tai.
I've never heard of that cocktail. Mai Tai.
Yeah, yeah. Oh no, that's a fucking.
I'm gonna say. I thought that was.
Yeah, man. Oh no, wait. Two completely.
It's not an apple.
Mai Tai sour. I never heard of that. Well, it's very fruity, very nice.
We'll
So
have to get one in Newcastle on Thursday.
we will. Yes,
We'll
we're
go on
going.
a Mai Tai hunt.
Yes, we will. We'll do that.
Can't pronounce that incorrectly, can you? So just pulling it back to the music, as a band, I think we've had one of your songs as our song of the week back when we did that. I might bring it back.
I think it's a cool idea.
I'm sure it was Fire.
Yeah.
I'm familiar.
But what inspires you guys to write songs, from generally down to things that make you write songs to influences, type of bands?
I think we're fairly unique in that the four of us have like agree on big influences and then have really alternate smaller influences, like heavy bands, riffy bands, and then George likes a lot of singer-songwriter stuff. I like a lot of like hip-hop stuff. Steve likes like synthwave type stuff. So I like a lot of indie type stuff.
Good collab though.
Well, sorry, it's fine.
Yeah, I would have said film.
Yeah, just drop it on.
Yeah, well, fine.
Thank you.
Whatever. I don't really know style that well, to be fair, but and so just like riffs and that. I don't really know what else to.
It kind of like it
Riffs in that.
never really has like a singular place where it starts from. It usually starts from a bit of a I've got this idea, and then one of us will just play it repetitively until the others get it stuck in the ear.
Yeah.
And then it turns into a song from there.
And you guys like almost
Yeah.
like loop, but then you.
It's like I am committed to
Ah.
this song becoming something, so I'm just going to play it now.
Yeah.
Shut up,
So
till
if-
right.
yeah.
For the next 30 minutes is all I'm going to play.
So I'll just have to fucking make something up until I shut up.
Get on board or get out.
It's very rare that one of I'm the drummer, so what do I know? But it's very rare that one of us will come in with like a fully formed idea
Yeah.
and be like, this is how the song goes.
Yeah.
Nah, it's a
we'll
cool
have
way.
another idea and then jam on it. And
Yeah, definitely. And
cool way
I
of going
think
about it.
in terms of vocals, I think vocals are always last, and that's just purely. That's just
How it works, yeah. Because we'll have the song in it.
It would be interesting to kind of approach it from a different way, kind of going.
Yeah, if you try
just
one.
to see, do you know what I mean?
Try one where
So you're coming in
you write
with the kind of
you write the melody to the you write the melody and then everyone else builds a song around that.
I'll write the drum track.
Yeah. I write the bass line. We'll just see what happens.
We'll write the guitar and you write the podcast. We'll just all swap roles. When you're putting lyrics on, do you write them separately or do you write them with the band?
It depends on the song. So some I have wrote with the band and then some I kind of take away. But generally speaking, I will do a melody first and then with syllables, and then I'll kind of bring that and work around that at band, like at practice. Funny enough, some of the lyrics that kind of are most kind of like a lullaby high, for example. It's me just messing around doing random kind of noises, syllables, and then Jack will be like, "Oh, it sounds a bit like you're saying this," and then it'll kind of come around.
Yeah, I think when it comes to lyrics, I think sort of like no ego, I think, but I think we rely on Jack quite a bit because I think coming from your hip hop background, you're sort of like it's all about the lyrics, isn't it? It's all about the words that's used. And it's all about like
syllables in it,
the rhythm of those words and stuff like that. So I think there's a lot of times when you've said, "Oh, it sounds like you're saying this," or actually this would probably work better, and then that's been the premise for the song almost, and it's kind of then took off from there.
Because you can kind of know what you want to say, but then it's trying to find the right syllables and the right words to be able to say it, isn't it?
Like the feel is the most important for me first.
Yeah.
So once you get the feel of a song, the melody, the kind of rhythm, the syllables, I think then you can start to play around with lyrics.
You have a real knack of doing that as well, because I like to write quite melodic bass lines, and you tend to base all your vocals around that. You always tend to find them little pockets where you wouldn't necessarily put a vocal melody in, and then you just slot in there so effortlessly. And I think it's what makes it quite unique. Like I thought Lullaby was the way you structured the lyrics, so that would make it cool.
Oh, thank you very much. My head's going to be massive now. Get
out that door.
Am I blocking up the screen?
We'll throw some abuse about in a minute, don't worry.
Just a quick one for you, Jack. You also do stand-up comedy as well, don't you?
Sure.
How do you compare the difference, like the different feeling of being on stage as a band and as a stand-up comic? Does it feel the same, or is it like one's a different buzz to another? Or
well, they're both, cool. I guess with a band it's different, especially if I'm the drummer. Like I'm at the back of the stage, nobody's really looking at us, nobody really cares what I'm doing. And then with comedy, I'm like swimming without armbands on. Like if it goes wrong at a comedy gig, it's all my fault really. Yeah. But if it goes wrong at a Hivemind gig, it's usually Steve's fault. So my first love's always music. Always music. My first love's always music. I love being in a band. I love being in this band. Comedy's they are different. They are similar. It just depends.
That would terrify me going on like a comedy. I mean, I'm not funny to begin with, so like to be on a comedy stage trying to make people laugh, it's like fuck me.
It's the same as being. It's about how you present yourself, and you pick up things. I'm not funny either. You just pick up things over it.
I've got for long enough. I've got a follow-up question. Which one would you rather do naked?
Drums? Are you mad? Are you coming up behind cymbals and
see-through drums though?
For like DW kit. You just see like kick drum. Cool. They are similar, but they are different. That the comedy highs and lows are really extreme. So when it goes really well, it's really cool because it's just you. But when it's bad, it's really fucking bad. But in the band, you've got the people to fall back on. Sometimes we do a gig with a band, like we're quite a heavy rock band. Sometimes the vibe of the room's not right, but then you go, well, I still like our songs. I still believe in our songs, so it's just whatever.
Yeah.
It's just different strokes.
Have you ever been recognised by somebody, not someone you know, who's like, oh, you're stand-up comic, but you're the drummer, or vice versa? It's like, I've seen you at the stand the other week.
Yeah, that happened. The Clooney when we played with the Anchor, band from America, and somebody was like, I saw you at the stand. I didn't know you played drums. I was like, oh well, yeah. I don't know what to tell people when they do. Thanks, I don't know.
You are right, yes.
When you say it's rap.
Yeah. I don't know what to tell people. It's.
You get recognised all the time.
You start denying it and just. I do the drummer in Hivemind. Nope.
It makes me think like when people say that, it makes me feel like people think I only do it to get recognised, and obviously don't at all.
I mean, you do a
I'm
little bit.
insane. I don't want to get a regular job.
I get that. And final question before we take the first break. We've got a section up and personal where we just want to know what your most personal song is, what it's about.
Ooh.
Dive in deep with that.
That's got to be you, that one.
Yeah,
It's
Stings in McGrath.
No pressure.
Jordan McRae on that.
How personal do I want to go? No.
It's much that makes the camera cry.
Or laugh.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Most personal.
That you can think of at this
Yeah.
very moment in time, because
First song that comes to your mind.
Okay. Probably Medicine, I think.
Right.
So when we wrote Medicine, I think that was when I was coming out of a difficult relationship, but I'd found something that was a better fit. And I think the idea behind medicine is that obviously medicine is something that makes you better, but it's also something that can be addictive as well.
Okay.
So I would say medicine. Yeah.
Medicine's another song that was born out of a jam. Like, it took us like 15 minutes to write it. Came out of nowhere.
sometimes the best songs, though, isn't it? It's like,
Yeah, it was cool. It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was funny because I remember when we first jammed Medicine, and I think we just nailed it all the way through, and we were like, we're playing it tomorrow at the Academy.
Oh yeah, that's
Well,
right,
like,
didn't we?
remember,
Yeah,
like-
we wrote it and practiced it, and then I think we played
Yeah,
it like
well,
3
I played
days
it
later
tomorrow,
for the
I was like-
first time. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, like it's rough and it's raw, but we just loved it that much that we wanted to play it.
That was a weird song, that, because everything did kind of just because I guess that song it's made up of different parts, really, and it did just kind of fall into like place, didn't it? Quite quickly and quite easily.
Even the little rappy bit.
Yeah.
It's before Sideshow.
Yeah, I wasn't in the band. So James on bass.
Yeah.
Did it go down well though? In the Academy, like, did you?
Not as good as what you
Pretty
played.
tight?
Yeah, no, it's good.
I wasn't.
Yeah, it goes down better
Tell us
now.
I'm good a bit more.
Actually, someone called at me and said that's a great song, but your bass line needs reinventing. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
See what we can do.
It's a great bass line. Go on, give it to James.
Oh, cool. Yeah, we'll take a quick short break.
Yeah.
And come back to part 2.
yeah, we'll let you have your pizza. So I know you've eyeing it up there. For those who don't realise that there was a pizza coming in there with George's
Yeah,
food.
we'll just shift it from the camera just slightly that way.
But anyway, we will see you in a bit. Energy. And welcome back to side 2. What we got today, Connor? Anyway, I'll shut up now.
Yeah. We've got a James Will Fix It, which is a name that we don't think we're going to get copyrighted for anytime soon.
Yes.
Basically, James goes on Reddit and he finds some musician quarrels and problems, and we've got to kind of give a solution.
Okay.
Yeah, it's mainly
The sound of a man that hasn't watched the podcast before.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds great, yeah. It's every week, Steve.
I don't do podcasts. I just drink.
I think, to be fair, like
It's true.
I think I've probably made more podcasts than I've listened to. I'm probably one of the few people in the world that can actually say that. So it's usually r/musicians, but sometimes I scroll through the other music-themed Reddits.
Sure.
I found one by r/music marketing, and it's by user LA/7896. It says, Jim, can you fix it for me? James, can you fix it for me?
You don't want people to call you their own name.
No longer comfortable.
Call it Jim
It's alright.
Fix It.
We're all old enough, it's alright.
I didn't bring this up on a podcast, but I did once meet Jimmy Savile on
No way, no way!
Jane, yes.
Oh, I got to take the picture of it. Steven Bratt's getting it.
You've actually got a picture?
Yeah.
It's so sinister.
I think it's more to the fact you still have the picture.
Well, in case a lawsuit comes up or something. Let's go around here somewhere. Okay, alright, we all ready for it? Here we go. Here's me with.
Oh, no way!
His little face. He's both got the same smile going on. That's what's sinister about it.
You say never meet your heroes, but to be honest, he was a very
Lovely guy.
nice gentleman. Very nice gentleman. There's one thing that people don't say about Jimmy Savile. He's very gentle. He's very good. Don't take that out of context.
So, James, can you fix it for me? Right, so serious face now. So this one basically says, 0 views. So, getting no views on my music cover TikToks. Does anyone have any advice to get more views, engagement and follows on social media for singers who sing cover songs?
Nope.
Probably
No?
get good.
I was going to say, I've always picked the wrong one here, haven't I? Because I just saw the no views. But I'm assuming you're either shit.
I mean, I'm not engrossed in the world of TikTok, but I would imagine it's really difficult to not get views.
Yeah, because
on TikTok,
yeah.
it's so like
yeah, at least get
fast-paced.
20.
Yeah.
Like, and then they think no, you don't. Nobody else wants to listen, but it's getting none.
There might be like I'm not on TikTok all that much, but when I am, there might be like if the quality of your camera isn't great, if the quality of the audio isn't great, if the lighting isn't great on the video, I'm skipping straight past. If it doesn't look, it's got to be
cat in it.
yeah, exactly. If it isn't cat based or football based, I'm scroll skipping. It's got to instantly look up to par.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm scroll skipping. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter how good the cover is.
Yeah, definitely, and I think that because there's so many people who cover songs, so there's a lot of people who cover very popular
Competition,
songs.
yeah.
So you want, if you are going to cover a song that's maybe popular, maybe doing something different with it. So it's not just a straight up cover, and whether or not that's in a unique location, or it's done in a different style.
Yeah,
I would put forward the recommendation of doing the cover but dressing up as someone who didn't do that song.
not Jimmy.
So like covering
Jimmy Savile dressed as Phil
Ron
Collins
Farris.
doing Bill Cosby
Yeah,
doing
too many parallels. But like I don't know, like dressing up like I don't know,
Prince doing
Prince and doing
Hallelujah by Jeff Buckley.
yes.
You know what? That's
Yeah.
actually a really cool idea. I know you said it as a joke, but I'd probably watch shit like that. Yeah. Here's Prince doing it.
In the style of that's not bad idea.
Ah, damn.
Do you
How he fixes that?
yeah, I think
You
we
fixed
fixed this
that one,
actually.
yeah, you fixed that one.
Absolutely
I think
gave
that's
that one away, didn't
actually-
I?
Fucking hell. Do you have a TikTok?
It's something we've
George
toyed
has
with
been
the
threatening
idea
one for
of.
about 2 years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, we
Yeah.
don't. We
I was
don't.
what I was going to ask is what would your TikTok strategy be for your songs to get to make them a little bit different from like to stand out from the rest of the crowd?
You put a half-time riff in it.
Yeah.
Put a half-time riff in the middle of it.
Do the video in halftime. I think,
It's
yeah.
like a slow
It's like slow motion.
Yeah.
Start every video with Jack's picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, to draw everybody into it. Now that we've got your attention.
Yeah. Here's Wonderwall. I don't know. We kind of upped or tried to up our content game for when we released The Lullaby High, and did some videos that weren't necessarily just like here's the song. But TikTok's a whole different animal, isn't it?
Yeah,
But,
Does
For
it-
whatever reason, the algorithm isn't like.
No.
Does TikTok have clickbait, or is it just you just endlessly scroll until you
just
discover
scroll,
something you like?
basically.
Yeah, I think that TikTok is definitely something that will look to kind of venture in the future, but
Yeah,
You have to, innit? You have to. That's where the market is. Oh, you utilise hashtags. It's pretty good. People search for stuff on TikTok.
yeah. Well, I've learned that. Well, I've been told anyway that TikTok is you treat TikTok basically as a search engine, not a video site.
Sure.
Yeah.
So it's like, which is why if you ever like find something that's on topic, that's trending, if you put a hashtag or you do something that's similar to, it's like a news story, for example. If you release a song or something that's similar to that story that's trending, then that will be picked up by the algorithm and that'll be
that's a good
pushed
call.
further.
That's good. Yeah, that's a good call as well.
Yeah. But that's all I know. I don't do that myself because I'm a lazy bastard. So.
It's hard, man.
I can tell other people to do it, but I don't do it myself.
It's hard, man. It's so hard to keep on top of everything.
It is hard.
Yeah, it's so difficult.
So, answer that. Sing songs by other people, dressed up by other people.
Yeah, just
And yeah,
And
Fucking
put good lighting behind it.
you know what?
That's why he's got the umbrella.
I'm gonna give you like 3 months to do that, and if you haven't seen us do that, I'm doing
you
it.
take over. Deal. Alright.
Good to know.
Yeah.
So yesterday we put out on our Instagram story to see who would ask some questions for you guys. If you didn't know that, we have an Instagram. Follow us at Off the Stage UK, and every time I remember to do it, we put a little question poll to kind of get questions from you for the guests. HMV Newcastle asked, has there ever been a time where George has jumped into a crowd and regretted it?
don't think so. I've regretted jumping into these guys' pedals on numerous occasions.
I've regretted a lot of your stage movements.
No regrets. No regrets.
You're partial to an audience jumping in.
Yeah, I think I definitely don't regret kind of any. There's nothing that's jumping out with us specifically, but I mean, when we're on stage, I mean, I am the most clumsiest frontwoman like ever. Like these will have countless stories about when I broke stuff or I've injured somebody or something like that.
Honestly, one of the reasons we love Little Builds, but one of the reasons we don't play there as often as we probably as other local bands is because the stage is so small that she'll fall over.
Just an absolute liability.
Put an eye out on the side.
Absolute liability. Me and Si have often got to be like, which one of us is standing headstock side to Georgia?
Flip a coin in there.
Like this every 2 seconds.
But on the same side though, like the energy that she brings to our shows is like.
You're dead canny, aren't you?
You haven't finished your sentence yet.
Didn't finish.
Too much.
It's needy.
That was too good to be true.
No, the energy like is unparalleled. So it's worth it. In my opinion.
I was gonna say, it's like, have you ever well, I thought that question was gonna, have you ever jumped into an audience? But it's just like you obviously do that quite a lot, don't you? So.
I think it depends.
Oh, just
depends how I'm feeling.
I definitely think it depends on the audience as well.
And how they're feeling as well. I'm not going to do it if they're not feeling it. So it's about like, just being able to read the room and stuff. When you're saying about kind of the stuff that you regret, though, I mean, not with you guys.
Good.
But there was one time, so I was playing. So I used to be in kind of a progressive, like a prog rock band called the Shake Appeal. And there was one time that I looked down on stage and there was a boot on stage, and I was like, "Who's threw a boot on stage?" I was like, "That's quite rude, actually. I'm quite knocked about that." And I picked it up and I threw it to the back. And then my guitarist was like, "That was my boot." I was like, and then I had to be like, "Oh, you know that boot I've just launched." So that's a regret of mine.
That's funny.
Not just jump to conclusions. Assume that people are throwing random boots at you.
Oh, that's funny. See that with footballers at times where they chuck the shirts in the crowd and the manager's like, "No, get that back." Can I have that back from a 6-year-old child? Made your day, took your day away. HMV Newcastle also say, if you could be endorsed by any brand, who would it be? Also, let's face it, we'd all choose Brad Pitt, brackets, apart from James, who'd probably choose Brad Friedel.
I think I
don't understand.
Well, he's sponsored by Brad Pitt.
I'll tell you the contents of that. The context of that is because he misspelt brand and he spelt Brad.
Okay.
I don't think you were supposed to actually say that bit out loud.
I just get what he says.
This is the wild world of podcasting, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is what happens.
I even asked him back and he went, "It sounds like something James." I never understood what he meant.
Well, what actor would you want to be sponsored by?
Oh, what Brad?
What Brad? Yeah, what Brad?
Brad.
Bradley Walsh.
That's a great shout.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're talking actors, Sider's a mean Robert De Niro. So, you know what I mean? So, if we're talking brands, I mean, for me, there's really only one brand.
Coca-Cola.
Yeah. I thought you had another question.
Bradley Walsh and Pepsi.
On a Pepsi Max topic, have you seen Where's My Jet?
Where's my shed?
Yes.
Where's My Jet?
That's because
Where's My Shed?
It's that Netflix thing, isn't it?
What are you saying?
Where's My Jet?
Where's my jet?
Yeah, there's like a documentary on Netflix, and it was about an advert that they had out in the.
It's like the 80s.
80s, yeah.
And basically, what happened was, so you collected the bottle tops.
Right.
You collected the bottle tops, or it was something, or can things, or whatever. It was like Pepsi points. So the more cans you bought, the more you got rewards. So like you could buy, if you bought like 1,000 Pepsi things, you get like a holiday or something like that.
Right.
And for a joke, they said 1 million Pepsi bottles gets you a jet. It's obviously a joke, but this guy was like, you know what? I want to fucking jet. So this guy was like, listen, can we?
Conditions on the bottom.
Can we do this? Because they didn't put any terms. So they got all the lawyers involved, and they were like, no, if they get 1 million things, you are entitled now to give them a jet. So So there was this whole. I didn't actually watch the Netflix document, so I can't remember how.
I'm not
it
spoiling the
ended.
end. I'm not spoiling the end, but it's a good watch.
Huh.
There was actually they parodied it on The Simpsons when Bart got the elephant.
Oh yeah.
It was basically the same thing.
right,
It was like, I want my elephant. They were like, oh shit, no, we've got to give him a fucking.
It's only three parts. I think.
Yeah, I'll give it a watch.
I mean, did you know? Here's a fun fact about Pepsi. This is probably sponsored by Pepsi. So that, Pepsi, I think at one point was like had the 4th biggest naval power in the world.
What Pepsi did?
Pepsi.
Wow.
And the reason being is because I think it was he gave him to Gorbachev tried Pepsi once and he loved it. And he says,
of course he did.
I want Pepsi. How much can I get this? Like, bring all this Pepsi into Russia? It was like, well, it's this much money. It's like, well, I don't have any money. It's Russia. So I've got like a fleet of ships. Would you like a fleet of ships? And they were like, I will take a fleet of ships. So they traded a fleet of ships for Pepsi.
What? That's absolutely insane.
I think it was it might not have been Gorbachev. It was someone. It was like later on, but Pepsi became like one of the 4th naval powers in the world.
That's absolutely bonkers.
Fucking submarines and all sorts. Just like that Russia wasn't using anymore.
That's insane. That
They could have literally invaded countries and just like forced them to do Pepsi and
Hands up.
Wherever Coke's bigger, he was
We'll
insane.
Pepsi.
That is a really interesting fact. I like that.
Yeah, it's
I'm
hilarious.
taking that one away.
And then they couldn't, then they fucking argued about a jet. I mean, how?
Yeah.
They would have had an aircraft carrier.
Why didn't they say a boat?
Where's my submarine?
They could have said submarine and it would have been like, yeah, this is a submarine.
There was also a video game in the 90s, a Pepsi video game.
It was absolutely shocking.
Yeah, it was a superhero called Pepsi Man.
Absolutely horrendous. Yeah, you had to dodge like cans of Pepsis, didn't you, and stuff. It was ridiculous. Absolutely
Just
ridiculous.
for the record, on your next big gig, can you dress up as a superhero sponsored by Pepsi?
Pepsi Man.
Pepsi Man and Pepsi Woman.
Yeah.
Very, very bold of you to assume I already haven't got that in mind, but
On Instagram again, at Mrs. Berry Insta, asked if you could relive a Hivemind moment again, what would it be?
Ooh.
Other than this podcast, obviously.
Yeah, this is probably top. I think probably the This Is Tomorrow festival was quite cool. I think it was like the first festival played. It was just a good vibe, wasn't it? It was just good fun. And then we got kind of hit with the misfortune of then being followed by like a lockdown. But yeah, no, that was. I think that was when we, I don't know, it kind of almost cemented like what we're doing is getting noticed and getting heard, which was always, it's always nice when like what you do pays off. But I think that was like probably the biggest point where, like, people like us, people listen to us, and then it was the recognition that we got off the bat of that as well. There was just loads of people like with the standout act and stuff like that. So I think if there was one thing we could reclaim,
that was cool.
but I don't think that's out of the realms of possibility. I think we could absolutely do something like that again.
Yeah.
That'd probably be it for me.
The last headline gig we had in Sunderland at Independent, which we sold out. It was really fun. It was really cool. People dancing and mosh pits and singing along with songs and stuff. It's always cool when any gig when people sing along to your songs a bit, but
it always catches you off guard, doesn't it? It's always dead nice.
That was fun. It was our first. Was that our first
headline?
big gig with Sai as well. I love playing live, so anytime it's like our gig and there's a load of people there, it's like really cool.
That high point, or there was a time when we were in band practice and I was singing Music Supremacy and I hit the note pitch perfect, and I'd like to go back to that point just to watch us do it. I did that.
Masterpiece moment.
It
was nice.
180 kind of thing.
It was beautiful. It was.
Would you like to experience it again from your point of view, or from?
Oh, a viewer, 100%.
Because you guys are just blessed.
Just watch that every day of the week.
It's not really like a big like gig moment or anything like that as such, but I think when James left the band,
not me.
I think that it was a very sad time for us. I mean, James left the band just for his own kind of circumstances. There was no bad blood or anything like that, and James had been a part of the band with these guys for, I mean, God knows how long.
Oh, yes.
These were so close knit, and I think when James left, we were worried that we wouldn't find anybody to fill that space. So I think one of the moments that stands out for me, and it was just a really nice moment, is obviously when we asked Si to come and jam with us, and it was one of them moments where we just kind of knew, and it was just like a really nice feeling from going from kind of feeling very down and deflated to actually this is really exciting because it's going to be something new. We're excited to see kind of what the different like music that comes out of it. It became almost like a positive thing rather than something that was restrictive. It just opened up so many doors. So
that's really
I would say.
That's better than I thought you were going to say. Oh, when he left, I'd love to relive that again. Put him out the door.
I was distraught, wasn't it?
Yeah, we
It was like a break. I mean, like I think being in a band can be that way sometimes. Like 100%.
Imagine as well that'd be like it's like a little bit of uncertainty. It's like, oh, we're ever gonna like get where we were with someone else and stuff like that. And if you find someone straight away, they think, that's
and funny enough, Si was the first bassist that we asked to come and have a jam, so we didn't even have to look for very long. So it just felt like it was kind of meant to be, and it was just something.
Cool.
It was great.
Cool.
That was quite cool.
Very fortunate, we're very fortunate. Thank you. Thank you, Sam.
We've got at Stitch Redman. I think we covered this in the first part, but do you write lyrics to a song title, or do you pick the title after you wrote the lyrics? How do you write your song?
Well, Steve always has an interest in working song title for every song that we do.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So when we're writing a song, it'll usually sound like something or have an influence from somewhere, or there'll be like a lead that I've stole or whatever. And I'll tend to write the song title as that, but I'll just run with it. So I'll only know the song as that. And what Fire I've got down on my pedal board as Move Shit Hide, because we said it was like when we were writing it, we said it was like a shit version of Move Shake Hide by Marmosets. Yeah. So I only know the song by that now. So when it's like when it's done for us and it says Fire, I'm like, yeah. Do I know that one? It's really weird.
Yeah. I think some of the working titles that we have are good. We should put like a list together.
See if you can fit it with the song.
I think that would be funny. Yeah. Just match. See if people can match them to actually which song it actually was.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think that would be a fun idea. But in terms of kind of the titles for song, I think Medicine. I knew it was Medicine straight away. But I think usually the title, the name of the song kind of comes last. I think Medicine is the only one that we wrote where. Oh no, A Lullaby High was worked like that as well, because the chorus was written
punchy,
first, and so it was like, oh well, how could you call it anything else? But
it's normally just after the lyrics and stuff, we'll pick something out that sounds eye-catching.
Yeah.
Or
do you know what I would love though? Do you know like the old Panic at the Disco, like A Fever You Can't Swear Out? So how Raj the song title is on there. Like I would love to have a song like that with a geek.
Super long name.
Yeah, like a long interesting one that's just like, why is it called that? Like
I will listen to it now.
Yeah.
And buy Pepsi Max.
Like even just a Pepsi Max told me to do it.
Stop like subliminal messages in every one of your songs, like Pepsi Max backwards or something like that.
Yeah, Pepsi Max, like what the Beatles did.
It's Sam.
The final Instagram question we got, again, Stitch Redman. If you could travel through time and space to observe an album in history being recorded right there in the studio, which one would it be?
Oh, what a question.
He's never put any good questions in before, has he? Put himself out with the 65th episode.
So I'm a big Muse fan, and I would love to go back and just watch them record Origin of Symmetry.
Oh yeah.
Because I think that the first album was like very like, it was the same like a lot of other bands. It was like just angsty rock, and then Origin of Symmetry came out when it was like all this like space kind of weirdness, and the lyrics were like mad. And apparently they wrote most of the lyrics and the songs when they were absolutely off the tits on Magic Mushrooms. So I think just experiencing that and witnessing that would be pretty cool. Yeah. Just like what went on in the minds to kind of like change the sound from like that to that so drastically. I think that'd be pretty interesting.
I mean, like something like the Beatles, like Abbey Road or something. Really cool. The Dark Side of the Moon. And then you look at, I mean, like I say, I'm a big like hip hop fan, so I know that 50 Cent's first album, Get Rich or Die Trying, which is one of the biggest selling rap albums of all time, was made in like 10 days. He was just in the studio, just banging out songs after songs. I think that would be cool to witness. To witness somebody who had like a load of momentum behind him, like there was a load of hype around him.
Yeah.
And he was known for like his work rate, so I think it'd be cool to witness that energy like in person.
Yeah,
it'd be cool. And then, I mean, I don't know who else. Well, Artie Monkey's first album, similar sort of thing, where they've got all the energy and the hype around them.
Yeah,
it'd be cool to witness something like that. See how they're dealing with it.
I like to see Damien Rice O being recorded.
Yeah,
it's great.
That'd be like quite interesting to watch the process.
Yeah, tell you what mine would be. Just
didn't ask, but you can tell me.
I'm telling you anyway, Charlie. I'd probably say Highway 61 Revisited, Bob Dylan.
Oh wow!
Just because the whole process was just utter chaos. Like they just got into it. Like there was no like kind of okay, let's overdub the vocals. They just all went into the studio and just recorded all at one. There's so many mistakes in that as well. Like Rolling Stone, the organ player wasn't actually an organ player. He was the guitar player. But another guitar player came into the session halfway through and was a better guitar player, so he was like, oh, fuck this shit, I'm not getting... So he had to find somewhere, and he's like, oh, there's fucking organ free. And you'll hear it, if you ever hear like Rolling Stone, you'll hear the organs always like late, because he didn't know the song.
Oh, really?
So he's just like, duh, 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 duh. He's just looking at Dylan when he's playing it, just like...
That's not bad.
That's wild. Yeah, stories there for songs that are so...
successful, yeah, like
but
impactful.
The producer wanted to turn the thingy right down, but Dylan was like, actually, I quite like that. Turn the organ up. And it was quite like it's a quite prominent dun, 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 just like. But you know how to ruin a recording session, but also make it better at the same time. I guess like
that's pretty cool. That's good job.
Just before we go to part 3, we get 3 questions from every guest to roll on to the next week. Last week we've got questions from
Red Remedy.
Yeah, we were only here yesterday, James. I like to test them every week.
Yeah, I always have to think as well, even if it's like a day ago. It's like.
Question 1 is, what's been your best gig so far?
I think This Is Tomorrow was fun, but I think our headline that we did, not at Independent, was just because the energy, man. It was just like sweating buckets, but it was like so fun. It was just so fun. Just everyone was into it, and it was just like
it was
constant. Like usually by kind of when you play like a longer set, usually by kind of like mid set, you've burned all your energy, you've done all your jumps, and you're pretty knackered. Well, I am at least anyway. But it was just, you felt like you kept to go on because they were just loving it. So that was probably my most fun.
Yeah, I think that sticks out to me.
I'm just going to not a lot of
Yes,
It's really,
I agree.
Not everybody watches the audio, the visuals. If you could kick any member out of the band, who would it be?
I knew it was going to be me. I knew it.
Well, Steve, the alcoholism isn't.
Listen, I've got a problem. You're not being very supportive right now. Right. I feel like a victim.
Kick anyone out.
Kick anyone out.
Sorry,
Remedy. Hey.
Would there have to be like a justifiable reason, or is it just like
It's like only 3 of you could walk out as Hivemind right now. Which one sits here with us?
I think for a laugh, right? I think for a laugh with no context and no rationale or reason given, I'd probably like kick Jack out. But just given a very unanimous decision, Jack, we want you to leave the band, and then just leave it like that. No questions answered. No.
Imagine if he's just posted that on the Instagram. What the fuck?
Yeah. Even worse is the replies, but who's Jack?
I don't want to kick anybody out of the band. He's alright.
I think I'd like to get kicked out.
What? I think you would.
I don't know, just for the lols.
Yeah,
I feel.
Most disposable member.
We should respond, that to Jack question, how can you kick me out?
Oh yeah.
No, I definitely wouldn't kick anyone out. I don't think it would be Hivemind. I think it would change completely if anybody.
I would love to see you be the one to deliver that message though. Like, if one of us had to get kicked out and George was the only one that would deliver it, I would be love to be a fly in the wall.
Just so you could watch us squirm?
Yeah, just absolutely. That's probably why I'm getting kicked out.
No,
You annoyed the audio listeners there.
Yeah.
yeah, I think Hivemind had a lot of lineup changes prior to I joined the band, and then obviously with James leaving,
Yeah.
and I think we've really kind of settled into what Hivemind is and the sound that we're after and how we go about experimenting and trying new things together. So if one of us left the band, it wouldn't be Hivemind anymore.
Yeah.
So
Okay, well, the third question, do you have any pre-gig rituals?
I'm always sick before every gig. I'm absolutely ill, honestly. It doesn't matter kind of what kind of show that we'll play, whether it's kind of a small venue, whether it's a big festival. I'm always ill before we'll play.
Wow.
Yeah.
You'll change your outfit like 3 or 4 times.
I change what I'm wearing 3 or 4 times. Yeah, even though like what I wear isn't anything special. I'm very casual when we'll play, but it's just about kind of feeling comfy and being able to move the way I want to and stuff. But yeah, I drive these mad because I'm always.
I've got the running theory though that I think you need that to happen. I think you need that kind of like almost like
It's the conversion of
tension.
nervous energy
Yeah,
to
exactly.
performance
So like
energy,
you build yourself up and
Yeah.
you get so wound up about it that then that almost allows you to go absolutely nuts
Yeah,
on stage.
some of the best gigs that we've played.
I think if we did a big gig and you turned up totally like chill,
You'll all be
I'd
freaking
like-
out. You'll be
I'd
like,
be freaking
We'd be nervous.
you'll all be like, what is wrong? Why is she so calm? Why is she fine? But yeah, I don't think we have anything else.
As I'm getting a little bit older as a drummer, I do a little like some stretches and stuff, and then like 2 or 3 lines of coke, and then no,
Yeah.
just do.
Lines of Pepsi.
Yeah. Pepsi Max with 3 X's. And then I do some little stretches in that before I go on. It's very boring.
I'll tend to, and I don't know if it's a ritual out of, again, same thing. I think it's just now like psychosomatic. I think I often forget how to play a part in one of our songs. I'd be like, shit, I don't know how to play that, and I've got to go to my guitar and convince myself that I don't know how to play it, and that's literally every gig. But again, I think that's like something I've done so long. It's like, and now it needs to happen. Weird, man.
Yeah, when you come to a gig like, which one have I forgot? And you're looking for the song that you forgot.
Crap! I know one of our songs. Damn!
Especially who's looking at set list like, what the fuck's fire?
Yeah, exactly.
No, I'm not having it. You changing the sentence around. I didn't agree to this.
And just finally, have you got any questions for our next guest?
This guy had some corker questions.
Oh, he did.
Yeah. Some interesting, some awful. So a nice one won't be, well, it's not nice, but if you could watch the worst 2 genres of music that you could combine.
Oh.
That's quite a thought-provoking one.
That's a good one. That
What would be
awful ones as well.
what would be yours?
Yeah.
Two genres.
Definitely.
Can we answer these questions as well?
Yeah, fucking rock. Fucking hell, aye.
It's off the rails. Can we answer these questions as well? Just for the fun.
Go for it.
Yeah.
I feel like the next band's
The 2 worst genres.
I'll leave it for the next one.
I don't think this will be out by the time we get. No, it probably will be out. No,
No, it won't be.
it should be the day after.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, I feel like pretty much more genres have been smashed together now.
No, there's still some like K-pop.
I'd like to hear you.
K-pop and grime.
K-pop and grime would be good. K-grime.
Crime.
Oh, you think that'd be good?
Nice.
No, that'd be absolutely hideous.
it
I'd
is
like
a
to hear
crime. To match those two.
maybe it's like proper country rock with synthwave.
Oh, dear me. Yeah, like
Country synth.
yeah. What was your cradle back thing?
It's alright. This is a genuine dream I had once. Nightmare. I genuinely had the dream that Creed and Nickelback had formed like a supergroup, but they were essentially taken over, sort of like genuinely taken over people's minds, and like they were everywhere. It was in Creedleback, and it was. Do you know what it was? I think it was just on the
Great
back
name.
of who was it? Busted and McFly
McBusted.
team
Oh,
up with
right,
Busted.
yeah.
So I think it was just on the back of that. So I think it was like subconsciously like just merging names together. And Creedleback, yeah, but they were genuinely everyone loved them.
Influencing everything.
Like just Creedleback.
It would probably work as well, actually.
It's terrifying, absolutely terrifying. You can hear it, or can't you? It's in there now.
Yeah, I know. I can hear it. Kind of.
Creedleback.
Got a final question before we go.
Final question. Would you rather have a slug in your shoe at all times?
No.
Or you always have pockets full of spaghetti?
Pockets full of spaghetti, I would probably say, because
Yeah.
at
Where'd you
least
put your phone? Where'd you put your phone?
I know, but you've just sat there without it.
You've got some very
Is
good
it
points.
just dry spaghetti or is it cooked spaghetti?
Like spaghetti bolognese.
Warm as well. Oh, no.
So you're always feeling it like.
Yeah.
I know, but I'd rather feel it there than kind of having to walk on slugs.
Yeah, plus you'd never go hungry.
I know, but then
It's never
so if you're like in a job interview or a
that.
first date or something, you've just got like wet patches, just
I can explain.
greasy spaghetti wet patches around your crotch.
Or it'd be better than going back to theirs and then you take your shoes off and you just slug. And you're like, oh, I can put that back my shoe for tomorrow.
He just gets it himself.
Oh, we'll call that part 2.
Season
Extended part.
back, baby! And welcome back to side 3. Was that okay?
It wasn't actually. It was
Okay, I'll try it again. Okay. And welcome back to side 3. Is that?
Ooh.
very ASMR.
To be honest, I was a bit Alan Partridge that one.
Go on.
Yeah, I guess so.
Turn down,
Okay. That's how I'm gonna do. Okay. And welcome back to side 3. Is that?
I prefer number 2.
Yeah.
I prefer number two.
Okay, cool. That's good. That's what I'm going for. Going for authentic, real.
Shut up, Meg. We've got a few more questions, but this time from a mutual friend. Take it away, Ash.
Hi guys.
Hi.
So I put a message out to Walk Wars AP to ask her if she had anything she'd like to ask yous. And first of all, she said, do you plan on making any of your songs karaoke available on YouTube?
First of all, shout out to
Strong point.
Corey. She's always at every one of our
she's
shows.
just a solid turn up.
She's-
Just as well.
She's the best.
She's an absolute angel.
Karaokeable. People want that, then
That would be that
One person
that would be-
definitely does.
Yeah.
Like lullabies to watch, sing along.
yeah, that's true.
Thing is, though, we've actually asked Corey to come up on stage and
Yeah, we would love
perform.
Corey to, because Corey's in.
and she hasn't yet, so it's in.
In fact, no, not until she actually
Yeah.
she gets up and
Ah,
she does
yeah.
Yeah.
Balls in the old
Yeah.
Corey.
Yeah.
I don't think we should buckle. Just
Yeah, right.
absolutely not.
Corey could do bandyogi.
Blackmail her into it.
Yes.
Bandyogi.
Bandyogi.
Bandyogi. So it's like
Yeah, you
karaoke.
get up and
but-
perform with the band.
Yeah.
That's actually a really good
That's
idea.
that's
We're just
already a
knocking
thing. It's already
ideas
a
up
thing.
left, right, and centre. No, it's
It's
not.
already a thing.
Name four. Name.
Like, you know, had it many years ago, and it's already a thing. People have already done it. It's
Name
already a
4
thing.
people who do it.
Billy Thompson, Grace Schmissenson, Shaggy and Sting.
Nice. Okay, fair. Okay. Prove me wrong. I'm sorry.
Well, you know what I mean? Come out the king of it, I don't know this.
Eggs on my
Yeah,
face.
so as long as Corey gets up and performs with you,
Yeah.
we'll get a karaoke
We'll then
version
do-
on YouTube.
yeah.
I like them odds.
Yeah.
That's actually a really good idea though, because I would actually like karaoke versions of like other local bands songs, so that I could have a go and try and.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
This could be something we do now.
I think Corey's come up
that's a
with
really
something
good idea.
clever.
Yeah,
You do like a festival, but everyone's got to be like willing to kind of like a it's like wife swap, but with singers.
Like,
Yeah,
like the lyric.
Yeah, like
Singer swap.
You swap vocalists.
Yeah, swap vocalists.
No, it's a good
There's a
idea.
couple of
Very good idea.
gigs where bands will like do versions of songs from other local bands.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. That's
See something coming in 2024.
Yeah.
Yeah, good idea.
So our next question was, when are we getting new merch and how realistic is a songbook?
Songbook.
We've only just released new
Yeah,
merch.
new merch is. I mean, t-shirts, black t-shirts with our logo on.
Yeah, we've got the Hive guy done as well.
Yeah, true.
So they're relatively new.
We really wanted Hivemind socks.
Yeah.
You really
But
wanted Hive Man.
I really wanted
I
Hivemind
want
socks.
and all.
But the
They're fortune.
so you've got to think financial like gains. You've got to think like if we buy something, we want to get a return on it. And it's just you'd have to sell like 1,000 socks in order to get a return.
Yeah, it was like
I think
500 minimum order.
20.
I don't know why socks
Yeah.
control the market, but
Socks, I think socks are a little bit more difficult to make though, aren't they? Like, because you've got to like stitch. You can't just like stitch a badge on the logo, can't like?
Suppose-
It's like a T-shirt. You can like press it. But I don't know if can you do that with socks? I don't know.
It's not.
Also, what is a songbook? Like,
Well, in my head, I assumed it meant literally as in a book of your songs and lyrics that people can buy. That's what I thought. Like maybe sheet music.
I think what's missing for us is that we don't actually have any of our lyrics on Spotify yet, but it's something that we're looking at doing. So adding our lyrics to Spotify.
Right, yeah, sure.
So that is in the pipeline.
we're a digital songbook, a Kindle.
In with the times.
Yeah.
And finally, I think, and this is the most important question that she's sent. Who is your favourite fan/roadie and why is it Woko?
I don't think I'd ever describe her as a roadie. I don't think she ever does anything.
No,
She has helped. She has helped.
She hasn't helped me.
At Bobbix, she didn't carry my cymbals down the stairs at Bobbix.
Oh, that's nice of her.
Yeah. Now I think you bought a ticket for this gig. You don't need to do this. It's honestly fine. But she was out.
Do you know, it's genuinely so. Like sometimes, like I think Lullaby High, especially when we wrote it and we finished it and when we kind of had like a final product, I think we had it in our minds that we're excited for like Corey to hear it because
that was
we know she's going to
like,
absolutely
Corey's
bust
gonna
it.
love this one.
And that still happens when we like write a riff or like write a melody or something. We're like, oh, Corey will
You
buzz
just
it.
know straight away, don't you?
Yeah.
I think Corey's definitely number one fan.
I think it's really special when you've got even just one person in the crowd that you know is 100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
All fires and so supportive, and Corey's 100% like that in general.
She is my
I think
emotional support human.
She spurs people on as well because I think like it's a whole. It's the whole who's like more important, the first doer or the first follower, and I think Corey's always the first doer, and then I think at a gig when she's kind of dancing and bopping about, it kind of almost invites people like, oh, why am I not bopping about? And kind of almost like then all it takes is just one other person to join in. And then
there was actually a field study. Someone actually did that where there's some random person just
dancing in a field.
Dancing in a field.
Actual field study.
Yeah, and people just a literal field study. But like they were dancing just randomly, and then everyone else was just sitting down chilling. Like, what the fuck's going on there? But the minute another person, obviously meant to do it, joined in, then everyone else thought, oh, this is acceptable, and then everyone else started doing it.
It's because psychologically, why am I not doing it? Should I be doing it? And then it's kind of almost like that, like
it's contagious,
sheep mentality in it.
You see somebody having a good time, and then you're like, oh, I want to have a good time. But especially if, say, like there's somebody in the crowd, or if you're a bit like myself, because I'm quite introverted, despite kind of obviously when we play live, I'm quite extroverted. But say when I do go to shows, sometimes it's nice just seeing somebody else digging like a song that you like as well, and because you see that, you kind of like, oh, and it gets you going, and it's great. I think that's the best part about playing live music.
Definitely. I agree.
Honourable mention to Jamie Nixon for those exact reasons as well.
Jamie and Nixon.
Jamie Oliver is
again, they just
Jamie helps me all the time with my amps and stuff. He's superstar like that.
Again, they just show up at every gig. Like they just come to a gig and just have a really good time. And it's like it's always really infectious.
We are really lucky because we've got like quite a nice like following at the minute, but we've also got some really kind of dedicated and supportive friends as well, and I think that makes the world of difference, who are also in local bands as well. So we always support each other, but it's great. It's a lovely feeling.
There's a couple of guys who travelled in from Scotland to see us. We were playing. It was it Little Buildings? It was upstairs. The last time was
with False Heads.
Yes, I think so. And like they travelled down for that, and it was like it wasn't really our gig. It was like a gig that we were doing, and then they come down all the way from Edinburgh or something. They come down from. So I mean, it's a fair hike, isn't it?
That is.
Come down and see.
We're like, are you all right?
Do you want us to pay for your train back or something?
I'm terrible about merch as well. If like somebody wants to buy merch, I always feel a bit like I don't know, I'm like really.
You can just have it, just don't tell the lies.
Because you think like, I'm the kind of the same. Like, not that I've got merch to sell, but if I did have merch to sell, I'd be like, are you sure you want this fucking shite person?
It is lovely though. It's really lovely.
It's nice to feel like appreciated.
But yeah, Corey, thanks for being an absolute solid fan.
Bring my microphone back.
Yeah, excellent.
Cute. So is there any like shows and songs coming out that people can be excited for?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. And
well, I guess this has been recorded well before it's put out, so I haven't really told anybody about this, but we've got a new single coming out, even though we've just came off the back of releasing a Lullaby High. New single's called Left Side. and it'll be out on the 8th of September, which is a week and a day before our big headline gig at the Head of Steam in Newcastle.
Brilliant.
It will be supported by Lull and
Blame Yourself.
Blame Yourself, that's right. Yeah.
Oh,
We know them.
Blame Yourself,
Yeah.
Twice, haven't they?
You could maybe Blame Yourself.
Blame Yourself.
Another
No.
bunch of lads that often come out to see us as well when we'll play.
Yeah, and I'm a massive Nick Wood fan, so
Yeah. Nick Wood's been on twice. He's been
That's
on.
what I meant.
yeah,
It's the same band.
Yeah.
in two different bands.
We're just like Nick Wood, so we'll just,
We'll
we'll just get Nick Wood on next.
and we'll get doing it again.
Yeah, I'm always very impressed with Nick Wood's lyrics. I think that he's just separate from kind of other local bands that I'm seeing at the moment, because his lyrics are more like poetry, and you can tell that he puts a lot of kind of stuff
Yeah, he
behind
does.
it.
You can fill a room by standing like 5 feet away from a microphone as well, can't you?
Still impressive to watch.
Yeah.
And I'm still in the. I've never grew up my emo phase, so anything kind
People
of like that.
Did any of us?
Yeah, exactly. Well, exactly, and just so there's been a few times when I've been to see a Nick Wood band and the eyes were. I'm like, oh, this is too much. This is too much. No, very good, very good.
I think we've got plans this year though to. I think we're really aware that in order to kind of keep the ball rolling, you kind of want to keep on doing stuff. So I think we've got a plan to kind of release songs every couple of months or so. So we've also got the new one that Jack mentioned coming out, Left Side, and then the plan is to get back in the studio and work on another track that we've been playing live for a few months.
Which you've got, yeah.
Which I've got a completely different Left Side I've got a completely different working title for as well.
The song that Steve's talking about that we're going to record hopefully at the end of September, this is an exclusive, it's called Pretty Privileged, about people who maybe get a lot of things in life because of the way they look as opposed to their talents or lack of their
Sorry about that.
But the working title that Steve's got on his pedal board is Dicks and Tits, I believe.
I can't remember why.
I have no idea
But
why.
it was it's not just dicks and tits, it's like dicks and tits. I don't know why that come about.
But it will be like, oh, we'll play next Dicks and Tits, and like, yeah, Pretty Privileged. It is so matter of fact.
Yeah.
Where
That's my set list. That's like it's on my borders. Dicks and tits.
Dicks and Tits.
I don't know why. It's done as that. I've been trying to wrap my brains to how did I come up with that.
I was going to say, whereabouts do you like record? Is it different places?
Speaking of people who are very supportive of us, we usually go to True Studios, run by Richard Truebridge in Ferry Hill.
Cool.
Having a stroke. The song Fire and Lullaby High were recorded at the Bunker. We have our room at the Bunker, but then Rich mixed them for us.
Yep.
But then
The new song though, the new one coming out, recorded by
So the new one was Martin,
Martin Corkill, West 34 recordings.
So you'd go like different places, because a lot of people talk. They just have one guy that they just it's like their go-to guy.
I mean, like circumstances dictated somewhat, but I think we've done a lot of recordings with Rich, and I think the beauty of it is, I think when we first started recording with him, he kind of got us. He kind of got what we were trying to do, and he got our sound, and then that just kind of helped us kind of like create that sound better or wider or whatever.
But I know, like, during COVID and stuff, he had to shut the studio down, so he's just starting to get it back up and running. So that's why we had to go elsewhere. But he's always, came to our shows and always supported us and mixed our songs.
That's cool
as well.
Yeah, so we're dead excited to get back with him.
I think as well, when somebody knows your sound, it makes things quicker in the studio as well.
Yeah.
But what was good about recording with Martin was that it was like a completely fresh take. So we got to experiment with different tones and how.
The whole recording process was completely different for those who were interested. It was like a lot of I guess kind of what was it like, a lot of sampling, kind of almost kind of like a different way to record like guitars instead of just taking it directly from the amp. There was a lot of different.
Recorded clean and then tone afterwards.
Yeah, there was like a lot of different things that he put on where it was like we'd never done it before, so we were a little bit skeptical at first. But once we heard it, we're like, get it.
The end product
get how it works. Totally get it. But then that's actually introduced now a new method to us. Where we'll be like, well, let's explore that maybe. Which is cool.
Well, I'm excited for it to come out. I'm like,
that'll be out on the 8th, and then our headline shows the 16th of September at the Head of Steam, Newcastle.
And we're just going to ask, have you got any local artists that you want to give a shout out that people can go check out?
Nope.
Ooh. Just Hivemind.
Yeah. No, we've mentioned a few there. Obviously, Nick Wood and his bands.
Yeah.
Jamie, who we mentioned before, was in Shallow.
My mate in Electric Circus, John, really good pals with John. Love Electric Circus.
About them,
Really like guys. I like Electric
There's
Circus.
loads. I mean, Grey Palm, 1080 Trees, Ket.
Siberian.
I'm almost frightened to miss anybody because there's so many good bands with really talented but also really nice people.
Yeah.
And that makes it
Yeah,
makes a difference.
It's nice to know that other people that like you like to hear are actually nice people to talk to at the same time.
Yeah, definitely. Because I mean, there's nothing worse than when you play with the band and the band or kind of keep themselves very separate. We're definitely not like that. So if we play, we always like to kind of introduce ourselves and kind of we tend to listen to some stuff beforehand and. But no, yeah.
Not necessarily local, but they're absolute workhorses, so they're up and down the country all the time. But we played with a band recently called Queen Cult, and they're really good. They're really good. I instantly went to Spotify and just streamed everything they got. Just really good stuff. Really good stuff, like edgy pop punk.
It's some riffs as well.
Yeah,
really good.
Really catchy, like really like stuff that
was
like,
really fun.
like an earworm.
But I think it's really good when you like get to play with a band that you just never heard of before and kind of almost blown away by them. That's always good fun.
Brilliant.
I think there's a lot of bands locally that do that.
Yeah, it's a shame a lot of bands like just don't get the recognition they deserve.
Yeah,
There's too many like that.
especially like in the northeast. You can go to any venue around the northeast and see like 2 or 3 really shit hot bands that are really good. And often, I just think it's part and parcel of being from the northeast. I don't think we get the spotlight shined on us enough. People often go like Manchester as the north and then go Scotland.
Yeah, then we get kind
for
of
whatever reason, which is a bit annoying, but we keep on doing the thing.
We keep pushing.
Yeah, everybody in the northeast doing the thing.
Definitely, and all the stuff that's behind the scenes as well. So it's very good, kind of writing good music and playing and putting on a good show. But you've also kind of got to be mindful. I mean, it's sad, but in terms of kind of content creation and continuously putting stuff out, and it can be really difficult. It's almost like a full-time job if you want to do it well.
Because it's saturated as well. That's the other thing.
Yeah, you got to try and cut through.
You've got to be really invisible.
Yeah,
it can be difficult. Really difficult.
So to try and grow your following, where can people find you? What's your social tags?
Well, we'll mostly, honestly, try to simplify it as much as we can. We'll mostly just use Instagram, which is at Hivemind_UK. We have a Bandcamp page as well, which is the link in our bio. And all our songs are available, and merch and tickets are available on there. We pretty much only use Instagram though, just trying to keep everything concise. So all the songs are on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, YouTube, wherever you want.
But all information just goes.
The best place to find us is Hivemind_UK.
Makes things easy, doesn't it?
Cool. If you can drop us a follow, we are at Off the Stage UK. Check us out every week. So we bring new musicians to the stage, to the table. To off the stage.
To the window, to the walls.
Yeah. Till the sweat runs down my neck.
Final question. What are you going to play for us for part 4?
Oh, it has to be Lullaby. Our latest single.
When this comes out, it'll be our latest single, which will be A Lullaby High.
Thank you very much for coming down, guys.
Cheers.
It's been a really good episode.
I've really enjoyed. I don't think I've ever laughed so hard. Which helps when you've got a comedian in the band. So
Steve's pretty good.
I know it's been the least for me, but okay.
Mint, we'll see you part 4 for a little sing song.
Yeah, we'll see you later. Thank you very much. The stage.